playing Satisfactory. Satisfactory is a word that means giving or affording satisfaction, or fulfilling all demands or requirements. But what is Satisfactory the game? Created by Coffee Stain Studios, they're mainly a publisher, but are also known for their magnum opus, Goat Simulator. This is a factory building survival sandbox game where you get unique goals from some big faceless company that employs you, and those goals usually require you to ravage the land to craft unique items that are then delivered to said company, and in return, you get more stuff to play around with before being given more challenging tasks. I know it's not exactly a new game, in fact I still remember when it released in early access a few years ago, but it's a game that I've been told is really fun. That's it, just fun, that's all. Nothing else, it's just fun. So I gave it a shot, and initially the game itself is really not that fun. But then again, this is also an issue with a lot of other survival games nowadays. I mean, even Minecraft has that problem, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And the beginning bits of resource gathering and setup are definitely the most boring part. And yes, I know I could have skipped it, but I never really played this game, so I wanted to get tutorized before starting. But now that I've gotten a few of this game's milestones completed, I can safely say this game does indeed pick up after a short bit. But first, this video is sponsored by my first patron, Arl the Poss. I've never actually mentioned the fact that I have a Patreon up until today, but it's there. If you want to support me in my video making endeavors with money, then Patreon is for you. Note that donating to my Patreon allows me to call you silly names like Dummy, Beautiful, and of course, Bitch. Right now, I've got a few basic things set up. I've got myself a nice little iron mining machine. Yeah, the smelter is going a little too fast for that thing. I just need to get a power slug so I can get a overclock the miner over there. I have that running into a splitter that goes into 3 different things. For one, iron bars will go into this merger and get sent over here, and then I have this second one, which goes up here. I know it's a really weird setup. Shut up, I know. It's really awkward to get around. This is not very OSHA compliant, I know. But this goes into here, creating iron rods that then get split once again. One going over here into this storage device, and then this one goes all the way down and loops around into this one, which creates screws that then go into this second merger over here. This merger over, or this constructor over here is just creating iron plates, and all that combined together creates pretty much all the major stuff right now that I need for iron stuff. Over here, I've got a little setup for limestone. This just converts the limestone into concrete because right now I don't need limestone. If needed in the future, I have a long enough conveyor belt there. And then over here is where all my copper-based stuff is. See, I don't have any copper near where I am, so that's a lot of iron, or copper. Or I don't have a copper thing nearby, so instead I had to basically go all the way over here, kind of over this hill, and yeah, here's the second little spot for it. But yeah, no, I have that copper going into this smelter, which then goes up here. I have a splitter here, which goes into 2 different things. I have the regular copper going that way. I have the copper going in here for wires. That splits once again, one going into that merger, which gives me wire, and then this one over here, which gives me cable. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can actually research that. Hold on, because that's the other thing. I've been doing all these research tasks while I'm doing other stuff, just because I'm like, it gives me multiple things to work on, because I need to be able to scan for slugs, because that is currently the thing that I'm having the most issue with. There we go. I thought that I was supposed to be able to scan for power slugs, but apparently not. See, why would I want to stun the monsters whenever I could just kill it and then use its flesh for biofuel? Listen, a little genocide hurt nobody. Wait, you can see up in the top right, I currently have my current goal, which is the milestone. All right, launch!
Milestone reached.
There we go. And that's all done.
Milestone reached.
All right, but yeah, as you can see, I can't actually do anything until I build the space elevator, which is definitely my next goal. But in order to build said space elevator, I mean, yeah, it needs a lot of materials. Oh my, I'm just gonna leave that there. No. Hold on, pick that up. What? Well, I can't pick it up now, so I guess it's just gonna stay there for the rest of time, just playing the Goat Simulator theme on loop. Oh no, what have I done? My next goal, seeing as I was out of milestones to complete, was starting to build up the space elevator, a goal that would require a lot of materials I already have access to. Concrete, iron plates, iron bars, and wires were all required. Materials I had access to already, all that needed to be done was to craft up all those materials and build the elevator, a task that wouldn't really take all that long. Completing the elevator then gave me another progression goal in the form of this space elevator being upgraded, this time requiring 50 smart plates, which needs rotors and reinforced iron plates, which are both made using iron ore. So essentially, I have two biomass burners. I have a single miner that then feeds directly into a smelter. The smelter then goes into a splitter that is then constructing iron rods and iron plates. The iron rods then get split once more, so there's a lot of iron rods, and then there's a constructor creating screws. Those screws then get split again, and the metal plates and the screws go in here to create reinforced plating, and then this one in here create rotors. And the reason that this is backed up is because I need more I need more screws in there, so I'm actually gonna do something real quick. Oh, I know what I can do, hang on. This right next to it, like that. And then, oh, I need regular iron plating now. Good thing I have production line right there. Connect that up to that, connect that up to that. This will be creating screws, and now we should have a pretty good combination of things being crafted. And then those go out here to create smart plating. Seal that, and send. And there it goes. Now that phase 1 is complete, I can now unlock tiers 3 and 4 of my base. Starting with tier 3, I was able to work on coal power, a much needed improvement over the biofuel burners I've been committing several acts of eco-terrorism over, needing reinforced iron plates, rotors, and cables. All things I have. This goal was pretty easy to achieve, honestly. And the second goal, because it will be needed for completion of the next phase of the space elevator, is steel production. Finishing this needs rotors, concrete, wire, and modular frames, a material that requires reinforced iron plates and iron rods to make. After finishing those up, it was time to start work on supplying my base with coal for use in steel and coal power. Because if burning copious amounts of plant and animal material to power my factories wasn't eco-unfriendly enough, now I'm also going to be destroying the atmosphere with smog! Okay. So there should be, if I am correct, yes, there's multiple things of coal around here. In my case, I'm going to go over here, create a little craft bench that will allow me to craft whatever I need over here. Now I need a miner, which will go right here, obviously. And we've got that, so that'll be doing that. I'm gonna actually up the production when we get that. Right, you know what, maybe that is the best spot for it right now. Okay, so that's set up like that. Now I need this. So if that is the case, what I need to create right now is just a temporary little biomass burner, just like a little backup generator, I guess, right here, right next to that. And then I can actually throw these in here. It is receiving power. Well, I'm very confused. Oh my goodness. There we go, and if I was to... Yeah, okay, so that's why we have the pumps. We're gonna up the production on this one all the way. It is, in fact, running the coal generator, which is very good. What I can do now is I can focus on the next part of this, which is going to essentially be transporting these back to the main base. I still want this thing to look at least decent, and luckily I do happen to have a body of water near me, so I can actually create a coal power supply over here. Set that right there, and in case this stuff ends up actually like arriving, I'm gonna go ahead and build a storage container that then goes in here, and that will start gathering up our coal. Perfect. And now that we're gaining a decent amount of coal, I was able to build up some steel production off camera, making the versatile framework for our space elevator. So I have a miner that is digging there and sending stuff straight up. So that will then go up this way, which then splits into 2 different directions. And let's start with this way first, because this will go into our foundry, which is also connected via a splitter that is feeding off of our main coal line. Don't mind the precarious angle that these splitters are all at, and into here. And this creates all of the steel that I need, which will then be split into 2 things. One bit going in here, then this way, which will lead into our main production. Iron ore from earlier, it's all being smelted by these 2 smelters. Constructor here, which is creating iron rods. This one that's creating iron plates, this one creating screws. The metal plates here are going into this with screws to create reinforced iron plates. That goes in here and is creating modular frames. And meanwhile, the steel from that foundry back there is actually being supplied into this constructor, which is creating steel beams, and get fueled into this assembler that creates versatile frameworks. Is it a bit of a mess? Yes. But it's my kind of mess, honestly. I like it. It's cool. And yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to this game, necessarily at least. Like, I could stop whenever I want to, but at the same time, those factories do indeed be, rewarding. And also while I was off camera, I actually managed to get Tier 3 completed. So that means with Tier 3 completed, we can start on Tier 4, which gives us access to advanced steel production, giving us the final part required to upgrade our space elevator for this phase: automated wiring. And luckily, as I was planning the last factory, I planned ahead and kept an extra path for the steel to go. And no, I totally didn't just get lucky. The only issue I could foresee myself having was the copper wiring. I had no copper anywhere nearby. Or so I thought. At the very beginning of my journey, there was this humble little setup on its lonesome, way off in the middle of nowhere, or I guess over a hill, that was producing small amounts of copper. I never really kept up with it due to how low copper there was and how little I needed and the upkeep. But now, it was about to become a true part of my base. God, that is so cool! It's so cool! Oh man, my engineering level has just expanded at this point. Like, that's what I like to see. I like to see factories that are very, like, overlapping and, like, maze-like, and they just sit there and, like, crisscross and whatnot. My god, this game is so satisfying! Ah, shit, I said it. Finally, after waiting a while, I was finally able to finish Phase 2 of the space elevator. And you know what? I think that's a good spot to leave things at for now. I am having a blast with this game. It's really quite a pleasant game, letting me just kind of zone out and play the game while having a goal to pursue. I don't know if this is gonna do well. Now I think the video's only gonna get like 10 views, but I enjoyed my time in this game, and so with that, I'm gonna end things off. Oh yeah, and by the way, if y'all want to see more of this, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to continue this, maybe even with friends. I think that might be fun. Special thank you to Arl the Poss on Patreon. I haven't even promoted the fact that I have a Patreon, since I feel I'm too small for that, but hey, they gave me $5, so I guess I start the plugs on this video now. Anyways, that's gonna be all from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, everybody.